Maybe I'll try this one.
Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Unangry Black Woman podcast, where we have real conversations on real topics with real people. I am your host, your healing coach, Tiffany Fox. Our guest today is the one, the only, the incomparable unicorn chick, Kala Slade, my bestie. Kala Slade. Welcome, boo.
Hey, boo. Hey.
Oh my gosh, I got you on the show.
And I'm so excited. I'm glad to be here. Like, for real, this is like so dope. I'm loving
dope.
this. Yes.
This is us. So we went from Wild Wednesdays at Glow to so we've been doing the live thing for a minute, right?
Yes,
and we
yes.
finally made it to the podcast.
I love it.
Absolutely. So go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, what you do, how you do it.
Well. I am Kala Slade. I am the unicorn chick, model, entrepreneur. Whatever you want, I got it.
Yes.
Tell me what you need. I got you.
Yes. My girl.
Hairstylist. Just, somebody for the people. Tell me what you need. I got you.
And she do. She got me. She got me because I don't do nothing. I don't put it together. I don't brush it on. She got me, y'all. So that's I think Kala has been doing my hair. She's the only one that has done my hair since I've been in North Carolina.
Wow. That's a long time.
That's a long time. That's a long time. Nobody touches my hair. So when she on vacation and she go out, we have to figure it out because nobody's touching my hair, okay? Absolutely. So I'm excited to have you here. And if you know us, right, if you know us in real life, we speak a secret language.
Absolutely.
So we go try to speak regular today, no code, so that people can understand.
Can't make it no promises.
But it's a vibe, y'all. It's a whole vibe when we get together. But there are so many things we talk about in real life and so many areas we touch on. I just wanted to, give the people a little bit of what we talk about on a day-to-day basis.
I don't know if the people ready for that.
I don't know if they're ready either. So we are having organic conversations. This is not, we haven't rehearsed or anything like that. But I do ask my guests, is any topic off limits? And so she told me no.
No, like, you're my BFF. So, we're pinky and the brain.
That's it.
So
we going there.
We going. Let's go.
Okay. All right, let's go. So let's talk about friendship.
Okay, let's go.
Let's start there. Let's talk about friendship. You and I have been friends since 2009.
Yes, a long time. You know what? And I didn't even realize it was that long.
Yes.
Till I was doing something the other day, and I was like,
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
girl.
And I think, if we're honest, neither one of us was taking applications for new friends.
No, we were not. Like, how it started, acquaintances at church.
Yes.
And Tiff was going to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. For the first time.
And she was going to meet somebody. And so she's preparing to go, making, preparations and everything. And she asked me, this one person who said, "Oh, I'll go with you," And she said, "Do you think I should go with them?" I was like, yeah, if it was me, no. I wouldn't go with them. But I'll go with you. Mind you, our conversation had pretty much just been, "Hey, how you doing? I was over the dance ministry."
At church.
And so pretty much that's all we had really been talking about was like what Tashara needed, when was practice.
Yep.
That was it. That was the extent of our conversation. And I was like, "Oh, I'll go with you." And baby. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
As they say in the N-O, baby.
Yeah, baby.
It's been on, like, you would think that we've been knowing each other our whole lives.
When we came back, the contract was signed, the friendship contract. And let me tell you where I was in that time of my life. I had just broken up, long-term relationship. Like, finally, like, this is the breakup. Like, this is it. I'm never going back. So I was like reinventing myself, right? Didn't even think about no New Orleans. Didn't know anything about it, and it was Essence.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I'm going. And then, like Kayla said, you know, our kids went to school together, so the kids were friends. And then we all went to church together, and the kids were in the dance ministry. And so, you know, I would just wait for Tashara to be finished. And, hey, how you doing? Hey. And I had my laptop, and I was like, hey, do you think? And then she was like, I'll go. Boom. Tickets that day. And the crazy part was, I think it was like a week before Essence. And we got all of our tickets. That was Beyonce was the headliner.
Yes.
And we got a hotel right off Bourbon Street, or Bourbon Street. Like, it was just like a match made in heaven. Then we almost missed our flight. Shopping for shoes. Almost missed our flight. We had to leave from Greensboro to Charlotte. Yes. And yeah, it was a straight flight, no stops. And we got there. We was like,
Yes.
And it was like the bomb.
The bomb.
I think we didn't get back to our hotel every night till like 6 or 7.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We slept during the day.
Yes. Yes. So that's how it started. And so, like I said, we were not. Now, where were you with friendships at that time?
I was in a very strange place because I was really coming out of what I thought was like a really good friendship. And so it was just kind of like I was by myself. Like, I was losing everything at that moment. And I was just kind of like getting back to kind of like, okay. Like, I started going out to eat by myself, going to the movies by myself, doing everything by myself. Like, okay, this is what life is going to be like. I got to figure it out. And if I got to be by myself, that's what I'm going to be. And so this just turned out to be like match made in heaven, and never look back.
Right. And the friendship, our dynamic, who we are, we're so different, but we're so similar. She is what I call a squiggle, right? She just go with the flow, the wind, whatever. I feel like going to New York today, we going to New York today. And so I'm very rigid and very black and white and very strategic. And so my life was very strategic. I remember Sundays was about cleaning the house, hair, getting Tashara's clothes ready for the week. And then Kayla said, oh, why don't we go out to eat on Sundays? We can do that? We can do that. And so that friendship turned into family. So our families were intertwined. My family accepted her family accepted me, and it was just like she family.
Yes.
And so since 2009, we have been through everything. Right? And so I look back and I'm like, I wasn't accepting no applications for no friends. I look back now, am I accepting applications, for friends? So let's stick on friendship, because I think, some people say if you find one or two people that are lifelong friends or can be in friendship with you, you are truly blessed. What is friendship to you?
So I think for a long time, I wasn't sure what friendship was. I think I had people in my life that I thought were friends, but I've come to understand that friendship can be a lot of things. The relationship that you and I have, I think we kind of like surpass friendship. We're like sisters, like, but, and then I have people that I might not talk to them for a year, but we can pick up and carry on like we never skipped a beat, like nothing ever changed. So I think friendship changes. Seasons change, things in your life change. But ultimately, I just think friendship is knowing that you have somebody that you can count on, who will love you and allow you to be yourself unapologetically.
I love that.
And never judge you. Because, boo, you could have judged me for a whole lot.
Me too. Me too. So for me, friendship, I like how you said it's different. I think it's levels and layers.
Yeah.
I think my 2009 friendship was like, oh, we riding, we dying, we bad boys for life, right? And so I now know at 42, there's levels to friendship. It's almost like an onion. And so there are seasons when you have that inner onion, that circle, and then people kind of fade out, and then they can come back in. But for me, I think friendship, well, I think there's 3 types of people in your life, right? So let's talk about the levels of people first. So I think there is a top tier level, and their job is to just pour into you, right? Their sole job, you don't even have to pour up. They are there to pour into you. I think that peer level is the homie level, what we talking about, right? And then I think it's a level below that you are to pour into. They can't pour into you, you pour into them. So I think there's 3 levels. So we're talking about that middle level. I think for me at 42, it has to be mutual.
Oh, yeah.
So for a long time, I've had one-sided relationships. And I was okay with that for a long time because I thought that that's how it was supposed to be. Or I made excuses for people. Oh, they can't show it for me because X, Y, Z. Or they can't do this because X, Y, Z. And I'm like, if we're going to be in this thing, it has to be mutual. You have to be there for me like I have to be there for you. Let's talk about trust.
So within a friendship, that has to be like pretty much number 1. Because if I don't trust you, then I can't. That changes the dynamics. That definitely alters, and we definitely are in some, I don't know, some spaces. I got to be able to trust you. Because if I can't trust you, what are we friends for? I mean,
so do you trust all your friends? Sorry, friends.
I will say this. Over the years and learning who they are, I know what I can trust them with.
Okay. I like that.
So I have friends that I can talk to about this, that, and then I have friends that I can talk to about, that.
Okay. Okay.
So I know who to talk to about what, on what level.
And I think for me, I agree. I think certain people can handle certain things. But I think I trust people to be people.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So nothing surprises me. Now, let's be real. Like, if we start being friends tomorrow and I see you on Facebook Live telling all my business, I would be shocked.
Listen.
I would be I would be. Yeah. So there are some elements of surprise. But I've seen ugly breakups in friendships.
And, that's, like, so sad. Like, I think for me, and I know you're going to talk about when I tried to break up with you. I know you are.
I didn't even say that, y'all. She tried to say hello. She tried to break up with me, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the hardest part of that, even with that, I was but don't take Tashara from me.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you intertwine your family and you start, things like that, like, those things make a huge difference. And I noticed in the breakup in the friendship before, I didn't like, people attempted to still be there for my kids, but I don't play with my kids.
Absolutely. I agree.
So don't try to use my kids. You know what I mean? Like, if you're sincerely still going to be there for them, cool. But, but you're right. I've seen some ugly stuff.
And it don't even got to be that ugly. But let's talk about loyalty. Loyalty. Yes. So what does that look like within a friendship? Or I mean, these current relationships, is that something that still exists?
Okay, so the today Kayla.
Okay.
Loyalty is being there for me, standing by me, but also making me be accountable and holding me when I'm wrong. See, before I just felt like loyalty was you, my friend. Can we cuss? We ain't supposed to cuss.
You can cuss.
Okay, so like you, my friend, and like whatever my shit is, you just supposed to,
Right. Yeah.
like that's how it's supposed to be. But Kayla today realizes that that's not how that works.
Right.
You need to be able to call me on my stuff.
Absolutely.
And get me to be. So to me, that's loyal. That's when you truly being loyal. When somebody's just ride or die and never corrects you and never, holds you accountable, is that really loyal?
Absolutely.
Is that really or you just, because when it falls down, then it's over.
Right. Yeah. I agree too. My loyalty is one of my, I guess, most important traits, values, I should say. And so for me, it is unconditional love, it's unconditional support, but it's unconditional accountability. Like, we got to make each other better.
Right.
The other part is, I'm going to hold your secret. So even when you, and that's the other type of loyalty that is rare.
Right.
If we were to ever fall out, I'm going to hold your secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cuss me out, you do whatever, because that's how loyal, I am. And I think these current relationships, they lack that two-way. They lack the mutual respect. They lack the mutual support. It's very one-sided, and I think there's no loyalty. I think it's just the convenience.
Yeah.
Or that this is the season. Now, I do believe friendships have seasons.
Yes.
I think everything has an expiration date. So I do think friendships have seasons. But in that season, are we getting to experience everything that we're supposed to experience?
Right.
Or are we leaning to each other because we got trauma bonds? We going through the same thing. We single moms. So is it just condition that make us friends, or is it true connection?
Is it true? Right.
That make us friends? And I see a lot of people. And as a hairstylist, you talk to women. Are a lot of women experiencing true friendships, or?
You know what? The craziest thing to me is I get so many women who say I don't have any friends. Now, for me, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that.
Right.
I can't think of a time in my life, like I said, when you and I met, I was in a transition, but I can never think of a time in my life when I didn't have friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Like, when you say you don't have friends, what do you mean? And people are like, well, I don't have friends. I don't have anybody to go anywhere with. I don't have anybody to do this with, or, and as we're doing things, getting together as a family, and we going on vacations, and we, go all out for each other, to do stuff, to celebrate one another, or something is wrong, you there. They like, yeah, I don't have that.
Now that, I think, is more normal than having the celebrations.
Okay.
I think a lot of people don't have, or a lot of women don't have a tribe,
Okay.
or a community. I'm talking about the tribe that you just had the baby, they coming over, cleaning your house, letting you get a nap. I'm talking about the tribe that is going to help you pick up the kids from school. Not just the fun stuff, not just the girls trip tribe, but, I got this going on, or my mental health I can't get out the bed. I think a lot of women do lack that tribe. I think that even for me, the roughest times that I've been through in my life, it has only been one or two people there.
Okay.
But when the chips is up, everybody's there.
Right.
So I can believe them saying they don't have true friends. And on my end with my clients, I'll ask them, do they have friends? And they say, yeah. And it's funny because in our Facebook community, I put a question up, and it says, do you have somebody you can tell the really hard stuff to? Everyone said no, but they have friends.
yeah, so and like I said, I guess, for me that's just difficult because I've never experienced that. Even if in the meantime or the moment, our friendship, fades or whatever, in that time we was tight.
Right,
Like that
right,
was what it
right,
was.
right.
So I don't know what that is, and so I do. But then I look at it and I say, do you show yourself friendly?
Mm.
How do you show yourself? Because then it's always women can't get along. All we do is compete and argue and go back and forth, and so it's like that's the number one reason. I'm like, well, why don't you have friends? Because all these women be tripping, and everybody got an attitude, and everybody want to compete with me, and I can't trust nobody, and I ain't gonna have nobody around my man, and I'm just like, ooh, you gotta get healed.
Let's stay there. Now, like, let's stay there because, again, the podcast is all about unveiling myths and
Right.
stereotypes and showing things from a healed and whole perspective and highlighting the Black woman and the Black experience. So let's talk about us not getting along.
Yes.
Let's talk about the mistrust, the side eye. So you say a lot of that comes from how you show up as a woman in those friendships?
No, not that part. I
Okay.
say, I think a lot of people or a lot of women base it off of like previous relationships. So I think they take everything into each new friendship, into each new experience, and they are standoffish, side-eyeing, waiting for the shoe to drop, so it's like I knew I couldn't trust her. I knew, and I think that's what a lot of women are experiencing and that they're dealing with. And so I don't think a lot of the women, I'm not going to say everybody because that's not the case for everybody.
Right.
But I do think a lot of the women that are saying that they don't have friends, they are not healed. They're carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff with them. So it prevents them from being fully who they are, one, and two, open to receiving or accepting somebody in because they constantly looking and side-eyeing and waiting for you to do something, or just, like they're not able to just freely just be like, this is who I am,
Right.
and I don't want nothing from you. All I'm asking for, is that you just be honest and open with me and that we share what we got. But everybody is like,
Guarded.
yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from, like you said, old baggage. I think it comes from a lot of mommy wounds.
Yes.
It comes from betrayal and things that we haven't flushed out. But I think it comes from us not being able to verbalize what we need in a friendship. And so I think that that's very important in any relationship. We think, oh, when you get into an interpersonal relationship or it's time to get into relationship, that's when I need to tell my friend what I need, and I need to tell my friend what I need in this season.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of unspoken expectations.
Yes.
Right? But everybody don't think the same. So some people think, oh, it's a golden rule that if your girl mess with him, you don't mess with him.
Right.
Well, some people be like 10 years removed. That was 10 years ago. Y'all was in 7th grade. You married, I'm single, when he checking for me. So what's
Right.
the expectation?
Right.
And so I think we have this rule book and playbook in our head about friendships and how they move.
Right.
And we think the other person. And that's why I said when we left New Orleans, the contract was signed. Because we had kind of talked about, we didn't go in depth, but we kind of knew where each other was and what we needed. And I think we check in and have those conversations too. And I think we check each other, but we know how to handle each other.
Right.
And so real talk, just because it's me, I I told her I had this brilliant idea today. And so So she handled it. It wasn't brilliant to her, but she didn't say, yo, that's not brilliant. That's stupid, right? She was like, oh, tell me more, But tell me more, because she knows how to handle my crazy. Right? She knows how to handle my dreaming, right? She knows how, and it's like, you stupid, that's crazy. No, she knows how to handle me. And I think in friendships and relationships, we got to get to the point where, yeah, I'm holding you accountable and I'm loving on you unconditionally, but I know how to handle you with care. Right. And I know, well, Kayla can't hear this right now, so I'm going to wait till we circle the block. Maybe another good day, and we go talk about it, right? So, but I got to know that timing,
right?
And I got to know where my friend is,
right,
for her to be able to receive. But I think a lot of us have those unspoken expectations, that this is girl code, but is it?
You're right, and I truly agree with that. And being around you, I learned about the unspoken expectations, because based on how I grew up, what took place with me, the past relationships, friendships, whatever, I built up what I thought. So, like, even in that, when you ask me, what do you think a friend is? That's a perfect example of, like, when you meet somebody new, or y'all kind of, like, vibing, chilling, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. I need to ask, like, what do you think friendship is? So that I have an understanding.
Absolutely.
Because if not, what I think it is and what you think it is could be two different things. And based on that, we looking crazy when something happened, because my expectation is for you to respond this way, and your expectation is, why would I?
Right. Don't do that. I mean, even down to I've had relationships where I've had to tell friends that their man was cheating.
Yeah, see, that's rough.
Right? And so I've always been the one, I'm not going to see your man out and run in the corner and call you, girl, get down here right now, he wet. No, because it can be room for misinterpretation. That could be a sister, his cousin, I don't know, know. No, I'm going up to your man. It's going to be clear. And, yeah. And so I've done that, and I've always done that in previous friendships. And so I'm stepping to your man like, hey, yo, who that? How you doing? I'm Tiffany, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, who are you? And so I want it to be that your man is running back telling you before I tell you. And that's been the case. And I've had friends, and my goal in that is you always do what you want to do. I've never said, oh, I'm telling you because I want you to break up. No, you have to make the decision. But as your friend, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody play in your face.
Right.
And so, because I wouldn't want you to do that to me. But there have been friends, don't tell me anything.
Right. So I've personally never experienced having to tell somebody that their man is cheating. Now, like, she might have told me some stuff, and I might have been like, he did what? He said what? And you can't, and what? He with somebody else. Like, that's not, like.
Red flag on the play.
Yeah, like, in those type of situations. But I think for me, I would probably be the same way in reference to, like, I might not cause a whole bunch of scene or nothing like that, but
I'm causing.
He gonna see me.
Yeah. See him, see you. See
right,
him.
so I could be like, hey, what's up? Like, so quickly he can be like, and I'm going to know when I talk to you if he said something.
Right.
Because if he don't say that he saw me, then that's for me to be like, listen, I saw your man, but yeah.
Yeah. And so I have to ask that conversation. I mean, ask that question. If we said going down said road,
what's your expectation?
I got friends, don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know. Okay. Yes, but that's how deep I got to ask questions.
But you're right, though.
Because I'm like,
I've seen a lot of friendships fall out over a man.
Yeah. Or I had a friend that say, hey, my man said I couldn't be your friend no more. Why? Because I told you because I caught him cheating. Yeah. Okay, cool. Got you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So those are the conversations that I feel like, we need to have as we grow into friendship. One of the biggest, who showed me who my friends were, one of the biggest situations was my mom passing. right? And so my husband tells me all the time that I use, and I be like, me? Use the word friend loosely. And so I think if there is some type of connection, then we're friends. You somewhere on my onion.
Right.
Because, like, we, you know what I'm saying, connected. But when my mom died, that was one of the worst times in my life. And I had never been through that before. I've been through death, but I've never had to experience it like that. And it just, I was ready for the emotions because what I do, I know the stages of grief. I know the mental health. I wasn't ready for the mind fog. I wasn't ready for the chunk that it took out of me, right? And so when I looked up, it wasn't too many people around. Condolences, text, I ain't talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about around.
Yeah, like to call you to see if you okay. Did you eat today?
Did you eat?
Did you
eat?
Because see, the thing I know about you is you're going to work.
I sure am.
You're gonna pour yourself into work, and you're just gonna go, and keep going. And you're gonna go in the room and close the door, and we're not gonna know anything going on behind that door until you open the door, and then you're gonna be like, "Girl, while I was in there, let me tell you what happened." So that was the gotta make sure that you eat. Like, what are you doing? And you had a lot going on with that, too. Yes. Like, there was so many different things that happened. It's funny how death can bring so many things out of people.
Foolishness, audacity.
Yeah.
Audacity. Like.
The stuff that you be like.
For what?
You? Really?
Yeah.
What? Okay. But, yeah, so
Yeah.
So, I can understand that.
And I was like, okay, no love lost. No, I remember you wasn't there, but I know who was there, right? And so, like I said, in the grief and the real revelation of everything hits after the funeral. And that's when the phone calls stop, And so I'm like, wow, to be this vulnerable with these people, I counted our joy as a blessing, but I knew that I can only be vulnerable with those people, if that makes sense. And so when your dad passed, it was like, okay, what I got to do? I don't want her to think. I don't want her. She just need to feel, right? What I need to do. And so that vulnerability, again, clicks in. And that's not with everybody.
No.
Yeah.
And then, too, I learned, too, with those situations, when we talk about, how sometimes you give the example on like a, 10-gallon or 1 quart, I learned too, like you said, no love lost, but I learned too that some people just don't have the capacity to do certain things or can't be, Like that, those situations, you learn who can be there for you and who can't. And I think sometimes people get caught up with, well, I don't know what to do or I don't know what to say. And I'm like, sometimes you don't have to do or say anything. Just be there. Just be. Let me just call, and if I just need to come over there and sit. If you need some water, then you'll say, can you give me a glass of water?
Right.
If my mind is just not like, do I need to ask her if she needs some water? Right. You know what I mean? Right. But if I'm there, then, you can ask. But if I'm not there because I feel like, I don't know, or I think some people are just, I don't know why people, when bad stuff or sad stuff happens, people be like, oh, I don't know what to say or I don't know what to do. And I'm like, life is still like.
Right. She was still the same person she was yesterday. She's just going through something.
So why not be there? But I think some people just don't have the capacity to do it.
I agree. After that, for me, though, what it made me realize was that the new Tiffany, right, needed two-sided relationships more now than ever.
Right.
And so I gave out some pink slips.
Hey, pass the
And so I had to have some conversations with people.
Yeah.
Because this is what I need. You know, let me apologize because I've never required these things from you before. Mm-hmm. But this is who I am now. This is me grieving. This is what I need. Are you still down? Right? And some people, they couldn't. And I was cool. And some people was like, I got to work on that. You know, and some people just rose to the occasion. So for me, it was really important for me to tell people what I needed because I no longer had the capacity to entertain the one-sided. You can't just dump on me all the time and I not be able to dump back.
Right.
I don't have it anymore. Right. So I got to lean on the deposits that I made in our friendship so I can withdraw from some of that too. And if I can't, cool. Then I need to move you down to that tier where when I have the overflow, I can pour.
Right.
Since I'm just the one pouring, but I can't, you know.
Right.
And so I just had to have some tough conversations. And I think a lot of women, one, don't know what we need. Two, don't know how to verbalize what we need.
Right.
And then three, I don't think we connect to the right people. I think we connect to people for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I think, we got a question from production. What's up, production?
Do you think that people confuse friendships with history and don't let go of bad friendships because of history?
So production said, do people, let me make sure, is it women or people?
Just people.
Do people?
I mean, I can speak from women, but I'm just asking.
Do people
confuse
friendship with
history
and stay in bad friendships
because of history?
I think so. I think that was my issue.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a thing. Yeah,
I think because in 81 we, you know what I'm saying, we did this in 81 and we was here and we did that. I definitely, and that is the blessing and the curse of my value for loyalty. Mm-hmm. Because I think because we went through this in this season back in 81, that we for life. And that was just for 81. And I'm going to hold your secrets from 81 because that's the loyalty. Mm-hmm. But this friendship isn't serving me anymore.
Right. I think that, yeah, absolutely. History and fear. Because it's hard to meet somebody new. Them get to know you. You get to know them. Share my secrets. Like if I really tell you, if I really tell you.
Right.
Are you still going to be there? Are you going to be my friend? Are you going to run away? Are you going to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so I think moving in, yeah, people hang on to relationships because of the history. Because, all right, this friendship is not serving me. It's not good for me. It's whatever. But they already know my crazy, and I know they crazy. And so.
Yeah, I love that fear. And so I think with anything, we stay in toxicity or we stay with things that no longer serve us because it's familiar. And I think friendships is no different, but I love what you said before. Like, we have to show ourselves friendly. Like, if I want true and I want to experience that type of friendship, then I got to be vulnerable to experience that type of friendship. And so if I'm good with my story and I'm good with my secrets, it ain't about you being good.
Right.
So if I'm like, yo, this happened to me, you know, and you like, oh, nah, I'm good on you. Okay, cool, I'm good with me.
Right.
But I think a lot of women aren't good with themselves.
Yeah.
And so we look for that validation and we look for that confirmation from other people. Now, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Birds of a feather, do they flock together?
Yes and no.
When they flocking.
Yes and no. I think some of that, too, can come back to the history. If we've been friends for a long time and I've always considered you my people, I might not do what you do. Now, people might think because we friends.
Right, we do
that I do.
Okay.
But I might not. But it's just based off of we've been rocking forever. We've been rocking since 5. So You know, we've
Right.
both grown, we've both experienced things, we've gone different directions or whatever, but I'm still going to be your friend. So that don't mean that I do the same thing.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, sometimes, yeah, like, you know, it's kind of hard to hang with somebody and y'all don't do the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you don't drink and I drink all the time, eventually one of us is going to feel some kind of way. I'm like, I don't want to go with her. She don't never want to drink. She always stealing my fun, always, you know.
I'm just go to church with her.
You know, just you know, always taking me out. I can't. You know, I can't never. And then, you know, the friend that don't drink, like, I don't never want to go because she always drunk. She sloppy and shit,
Yeah.
you know. And she act a fool when she start drinking, you know. So sometimes when you don't do the same thing, sometimes it can be hard because you find yourself not having things in common.
Right.
Or, like, you know. But I do think people are allowed to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, then with the friendship, the boundaries, the respect for one another, then, okay, she don't drink. I ain't going to drink around her. When we go out, we do. We're going to vibe, whatever, but I ain't going to drink like that.
Right.
Because I know, you know, she don't drink, and I know I get crazy when I drink, you know,
Right,
whatever, you know.
To be honest.
Just to be respectful, you know. Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
So, of course, over the years, we have met other friends.
Yes.
A lot of our friends are we have mutual friends, but we've had other friends.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about the group of other friends? How do you incorporate the other friends in the friendship?
So I think I learned too.
Okay.
I can have as many friends as I want. You can have as many friends as you want. I don't feel any kind of way about any friends that you have outside of me. Because I feel like my friendship with you is solid.
Right,
and
absolutely.
where we are.
Absolutely.
I know my friends over here, their attitudes, how they function, what they do. So I already know, knowing you, if you going to fit in over here. You know what I mean? Not like you got to fit in, but like,
Right.
I already know these attitudes, these, you know, whatever is over here. And I already know how you are. So I'm like, you know, that ain't a good, no, not like that.
I'm just
But just like, you know, that's not a good match.
Right,
You know what I mean? So I think what has to happen, though, in those situations is that now if I'm celebrating you and it's friends on the other side that I don't really deal with, but I can be grown up enough to come together to celebrate you, because at that moment it's about you. It's not about me, and it's not about them. It's about you. But yeah, you have to tread lightly when you mixing friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Cause you think, cause y'all good, everybody good. Oh, and that's my girl. Like, we can.
Right.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not always a thing.
For me, I am a very first of all, your friends are your friends, like you said. I think we do that well, right? I think us coming together, there were people that felt like I stole you away from them. I think there were people in our friend circle that, as you got other friends, they felt like, oh, they're stealing Kayla away from us, you know, things like that. I'm not that, but I am possessive.
Yeah.
I'm very territorial about my friend. And I think that comes from, not that you can't have any friends, but I want those friends to be good to you.
Right.
And when I don't see friends that are good to you, I have a problem.
Right.
But as long as you tell me y'all good, you be good. Right. And that's not just with you. That's with my other friends. I just want y'all to have friends that's gonna be good to you. And when I see friends take advantage, and when I see friends you know, play in your face, and I see then I have an issue with that. But I can definitely respect friendships, but I gotta be honest. I'm very territorial. That's my friend. Yeah. And you better be good to her.
And I think I'm that way too, in that aspect. Yeah. You know, like, I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to be, no, like, I have friends that I'm territorial over.
Okay.
Then I have friends that we cool.
Okay.
But my response is not going to be the same. But I don't want to, I don't want them to feel like, oh, I thought we was friends.
Right, right. No, I get it.
So, but no, I'm territorial too. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm fine with you playing in the sandbox with other folk, but when they start throwing sand.
And I'm even like that with even like friends that we know as friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, because we all, like, let's be real. People always talk about gossiping and this, that, and whatever. At the end of the day, if me and you are best friends, mm-hmm. okay, and we've got other friends, when my other friend get on my nerves, mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you, yo, she getting on my nerves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think people take that and be like, oh, they was talking about you. No, I think we all have a time when we vent, time when we talk about or discuss what's going on with us.
Right.
And I don't take that as you talking about the person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially because we all have a relationship.
Right.
It would be one thing if you come, well, I mean, even still, you still have the right to vent and talk to me, even if I don't know the person.
Right.
Just to be able to vent and
Get
say
it
what
out.
it is that you need to say.
Yeah.
So I don't take it like that. But, some people be like, oh, she was talking about you. Nah, it wasn't even like that. It's
you was on my nerve that day, and I said you was on my nerve.
Yeah.
I told you was on my nerve.
I mean, and that's it.
No, I
but
get it.
I feel like you have the space to be able to share with your friend and talk to the people close to you to share about whatever is going on. And that's the part where we were talking about with the friendship that comes in to say, hey, I realized that she was just venting or she was just talking. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, so I'm not going to be like, if I see you with her tomorrow, I'm going to be like, you was just talking about her yesterday. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Like, I know you was upset yesterday.
And I think in the friendship, we talked about accountability. You can say, Tiff, you tripping. That ain't her. You tripping. You was mean today. You PMSing. That wasn't even on her. I think it's a time where we can check, or you can say, all right, or you can add wisdom to the situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I don't think things that's always flushed out or vented is gossip. Now, if I'm like, girl, let me tell you, that's gossip, right? That's so, but we ain't going there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Kayla, you on the show, girl.
I know.
We could talk all night.
Like, I'm excited.
What would you say to the woman who doesn't have friends?
Back to the point that we were talking about, how do you show up? You got to put yourself out there. And I know it's not easy. I know it's fearful. And we always want to be like, we don't want to be hurt. And I get that. But at the end of the day, it's going to happen. You can't avoid being hurt. You can't avoid putting yourself out there and, everything going your way. Something is going to happen. And also, you said something, too, a long time ago. If everything is good and everything is perfect and we don't have any issues, yeah, I can be like, that's my best friend. We this, we that. The truth of the matter really comes down to when it gets rough. Mm-hmm. Can we still be friends? Can we work through whatever it is? Can I be mad at you? Can you be mad at me? And can we come together and work through that and then still move on?
Absolutely.
So I think for the woman who says she doesn't have friends, how are you showing up? What are you doing? What are you putting in to be friendly? Are you, like, meeting people? Are you consistent with what you do? Or do you check in on them? Do you, put yourself out there to show that, hey, I'm not here to hurt or harm or take from you? Mm-hmm. But that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for me, when we came together, we were both at a place where we were working on us.
Yes.
Right? Like you said, you learned to be okay with you, and I was learning to be okay with me. I think you have to work on you.
Absolutely.
And then the other stuff comes.
Right.
I think you have to be open. And yes, what I wholeheartedly believe is relationship begins with conflict. And so all the yesing and all that, and I'm a former people pleaser. So it was all about being liked, being the best this, best that. So it wasn't until there was conflict. And conflict is not a bad thing. It was two differences of opinions. How are we going to pick up the ball and work, like you said, work through that? And so I think as in any relationship, it takes work, and you got to be willing to do the work, but you got to be open. And so on this side of life at 42, I'd rather experience friendship wholehearted. And if that's with one or two people, then I want to experience that. I want to experience, and everything has an expiration date for whatever reason. But I think that I am more fulfilled and a better person because I have experienced that type of friendship, that level of vulnerability, that level of acceptance, that level of accountability. Because it can get lonely. And so for me, I had to put all the guards down to fully experience what this friendship is. So thank you for being my friend. No, thank you for friendship. Real talk.
No, like for real, thank you for friendship. Like, you've taught me so much. And for me, being older, sometimes I find myself like, I don't know how to say this. Like, I'm grateful for being able to learn and gain from you and not feeling like I have to be the one to teach or, and so the funny thing is, like, right now, I don't have any friends my age.
You're not that much older, okay?
But I mean, enough to be like,
I got you.
I don't have friends my age. Like, I mean, I have people that, of course, we've been, like I said, in those situations where we were really, really tight at one point. We don't really talk now. Right. We can pick up and be cool, but just life, we're just in different places.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, with all my friends now, like, close to me that I'm around, I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm the old lady.
You are not.
I'm the old lady of the group. But I love it, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you allowing me to be me.
Always.
So just to clear the air, when I was breaking up with you, it wasn't that I was breaking up with you. I felt like...
Let me make sure that people heard.
Yes. I felt like what I was dealing with and the issues that I was having and where I was, you being who you are, I didn't want to put that on you. So I felt like my breaking up with you was to save you or to protect you from having to deal with my crazy. So I appreciate the fact that you told me no.
You ain't breaking up with me.
That's not how that's going. And that you were just like, listen, this is what it is. So I appreciate that. And you've been, since we left and went to New Orleans, it's just been, that's what it's been. So yeah. I appreciate you for that.
I know. Dying out this.
Right, that's it.
But no, and at that time, I didn't understand why, because I'm used to friendships ending because something happened. And because nothing happened, it was like, what? And I was toe up, y'all. It was a breakup, okay? She told me she didn't want to be my friend no more. It was like, what? I called my pastor. I'm like, what? Crying. And then, I slept on it, and I was like, okay, she don't want to be my friend. But no, but for me, again, what's worth fighting for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it was worth a conversation because she broke up with me via text. But again, and that's who I am in relationships. No, we're going to have a conversation, right? It's going to be a meeting of the minds because I'm going to fight for this as long as we're willing to fight together. But if we're not willing to fight together, then okay. And so when we got together and we talked about it, oh, girl, we good, right? And so, again, I think there is room for misunderstanding, miscommunication every day because we're not the same people. Friends are not the same people, but we got to be able to come together and talk about it. Talk about the hard stuff.
Absolutely.
Talk about the emotional stuff, right? Talk about the you made me mad, you hurt my feelings, I expected this, you disappointed me, so that we can continue the friendship. But yeah, great episode, Kayla.
Absolutely. This is awesome. I want to come back tomorrow.
Yes, come on. Come every day. You could be our guest. What's today? Wednesday? What's today? Yeah, you could be our guest every Wednesday. Absolutely. Production, do you have anything for us before we close out? Production like friends. How many of us? No, guys, thank you again for tuning in to today's episode of the Unangry Black Woman podcast. We hope you enjoyed our discussion. If you found it informative and inspiring, let us know. Go ahead and subscribe, rate us, leave us comments or reviews on your favorite podcast platform. Again, your feedback helps us grow and improve. Remember, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Connect with us on social media, Tiffany Fox Inc. on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. Join us every Wednesday at noon for a new episode. Until then, take care, and remember, healing happens in community. Before we go, would you like to tell the people what you got going on? Or how they can follow you and find you and all the wonderful things you got going on?
So, Facebook, I am Kala Slade. On Instagram, I am b.simplybeautiful and unicorn chick. So you can check in with me, follow along with me. Now, listen, I'm getting better with posting on the regular, but it's a work in progress. But I'm there, so come by, check me out.
Absolutely, and we'll make sure to tag her once this episode airs, so you can follow her from there. But again, thank you for being a part of our podcast community. Until next time, be great.